Redneck Garage. Well, you may not be able to paint with a spray gun, and you may not have all the equipment you need to paint a whole car, but I can promise you this, with minimal investment, you can learn how to powder coat things and make things look really super cool. Okay, before I go much further with the video, I thought it might help to explain powder coating, what the pieces that go into this process and why it's better and all that. So let's take a look at that real quick here. The first thing you're going to need is a powder coating gun, right? And this one's from Eastwood. They make a newer one that's 2 voltages. You basically have your high voltage box here. It's got a clamp and a button. This clamp is actually a ground, so that goes to your piece and it grounds the piece. And this button activates the power going into your gun. Now this gun works by ESD, or electrostatic deposition, which really, think of deposit. So you press the button, the powder goes through the gun at very, very low pressure, 5 pounds maybe, and it gets charged. You can see this electrode at the end of it. It'll get charged up, and it's got a positive charge, and then the ground on the piece of metal causes a negative charge. It causes the particles of the powder to be attracted to the metal itself, because one's positive and one's negative, right? So it builds up a charge, kind of like static electricity, right? Very, very high voltage, but not like you can get shocked from it. But so those particles that are charged go in and they attach themselves to the metal pieces. Put this up. Now your spraying medium is going to be some kind of powder, right? It could be polyester, it could be polyurethane, it could be a mixture of both, it could be metallic, clear, gloss, satin. All these different ones are available. You can get them from Prismatic Powders. You can go on eBay. I found one place on eBay that was actually really good. I got it quick. Prismatic Powders is in Washington State, and they take forever to get the stuff. But anyway, you need that. You need an oven to cure it out, depending on the size, right? And I'm going to use my home oven for one thing, and then the rest of it out here because I don't like stinking up my house. And I can tell you this, the absolute most important part of powder coating as far as this whole process goes is your prep work, making sure that the part that you're coating is absolutely clean, that there's no oil from it. And you can get oil from it from your fingers and it won't stick there. I use gloves after I've cleaned it, before I put it in the oven, just to make sure I don't get any oil on it, and then I'll coat it. And then because that charge is on the metal, it doesn't fall off. You put it in the oven, and what happens is the heat actually causes it to melt and flow, and then it'll cause it to cure out and stick. And then once it cools down, it's a very, very durable finish because it's resistant to oil and grease, chemicals, heat. It's just a super finish, and it's really difficult to get off. If you ever want to take it off, you'll have to use like a aircraft stripper or a sandblaster to get it off of there. So that's kind of the backstory behind powder coating. All of them use some kind of similar system. You can use Harbor Freight. I know that Eastwood has a dual voltage, which is supposed to help if it's a double coating, but you can also do what's called hot flocking, where you heat the part up if it's got coating on it, and then you can spray it. Because the coating is hot, it'll actually start to melt the plastic a little bit and it'll keep it in place, but you got to be careful you don't get runs with that way. But that's what I have to do with this gun because it's 1 voltage, and sometimes you have an issue with it sticking. So on this one part that I'm going to do, the valve cover, I actually had to hot coat it after I put the first coat on it. So let's get back to the video. I think I made a little bit of sense. This valve cover is super nasty, so I'm going to go ahead and use some oven cleaner on it, try to get this gunky mess off of it. This thing is super nasty, so I think I'll just let it sit out in the sun for a while, bake some of that grossness out of it. I did get into my blast cabinet and blasted the air cleaner cover. I thought I would go ahead and powder coat it today. So I washed it off really well, then I put it in the oven to heat it up, waiting for it to cool down, and then I'll go ahead and put the powder on it, and then we'll bake the crap out of it. With powder coating, you want to make sure that it's super clean. This looks good. Alright, that looks pretty well coated to me. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put it in the oven, and once it starts to gloss out a little bit, then we count down 20 minutes for the cure out time. Hopefully you can see where the powder coat is starting to gloss out a little bit, and then there's still some dull spots. So we're waiting for it to get glossy all over, and then we'll start a 20-minute countdown. Looking good though. Okay, looks like it's glossed out all over, so I will go ahead and let it sit for 20 more minutes, and then we'll take a look at it. Here it is after it cooled off. It looks great compared to the way it looked before. I'm super happy with it. I love the powder coating. Now if you're saying to yourself, why would I want to powder coat anything? Well, one reason is that it's easier to apply than paint. You're basically going to put it on dry, and then you're going to bake the crap out of it, and it'll flow out and it'll look really, really nice like this does. Secondly, it's really durable. Like compared to like a spray can, this is 100 times more durable, and it's heat resistant. It'll hold up really well as far as like in the engine compartment on this air cleaner. And the third is, it's fun. If you remember being a kid and they had these Hasbro things and they were like the most dangerous toy in the world, look like this.
With Mattel's new Fright Factory and his thing maker. Just plug it in, pour in genuine plastic goop, and out come fangs, claws, shrunken heads, and all sorts of scary things.
That's kind of like what this is. Put a piece of metal in an oven and bake it, and it turns out really pretty. That's where I'm at. So I'm going to continue on trying to get this stinking air cleaner finished, but I'm happy with the way that it looks right now. Alright, I got it sandblasted. Next is to wash it off really well, make sure there's no oil or any contaminants on it. Then I'll spray it down with carb cleaner. Then it'll be ready to coat and put in the oven. I think I'm most excited about the power steering reservoir. Seeing how this thing comes out. It originally was CAD plated, and I'm not going to be able to do that, so this is the next best thing, I believe. Alright, I got the valve cover just about ready for powder coating. I baked it for 400 degrees for a while, trying to get everything out of it. It's looking good. It's got still a little bit of oil residue on the inside baffle. That's burned off. Gonna let it cool off, and then we should be ready to powder coat this baby. Well, I can tell you that it's not covering as well as I'd like, so I'm probably going to have to heat this up and then put another coat on it. Kind of a hot flock because it's just blowing all around. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in the oven and let this start to cure out. And then I'll bring it back out here and put a little more on it. Some of it's because it's so smooth. Big pain in the butt. But I'll do that. I'm going to go heat it up. Let this start to cure a little, and then we'll spray a little bit more on it. Don't tell Jennifer, but I had to use our regular oven to heat this thing up because the other one wasn't big enough. But I do have a fan blowing out any type of smells, so hopefully she won't know because she's at work. Okay, I got the valve cover up to about 200 degrees in the oven, and then went and put a second coat on it, and it stuck much better. So that seems to be the trick for this smoother aluminum. We'll go ahead and cure this out and see how it looks. Oh yeah, baby. You can see that it's starting to flatten out and getting a little semi-gloss on there. That looks freaking awesome. So now I will go ahead and let it go for about 20 minutes at 400 degrees. Tell me this thing ain't purty. Man, that looks nice. I'm so happy with that. That looks great. Originally, I thought about doing that inset black right there, but I don't know, man. This looks really pretty nice. I may just leave it the way it is and not jack it up. Dang, that looks pretty. I'm at about 150 degrees, so I'm going ahead and clear it. Oh yes sir, that clear is starting to gloss out a little bit. Nice! About 20 minutes we'll be done. Tell me that doesn't look beautiful. I am super happy with that, the way it turned out. That looks awesome. I'm just letting it cool down. Just letting it cool down, and then she'll be ready for installation as soon as we get the stinking head back on. Well, I'm done with it. I put my stickers on from Toyota 4Low on both of them. I went ahead and painted this one. I did gloss just because I think it looks cool. It'll wash off easier. Definitely not the factory finish. It was kind of a cadmium, but I'm super happy with that. And the valve cover, so awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed Powder Coating 101. I really enjoy doing powder coating. It's kind of a fun thing, and the results are nothing short of amazing on some of these parts that just looked really super janky. So any questions, comments, suggestions, post them below. I'm going to keep on powder coating, and I'm going to get this motor ready to put back together. Keep watching. Someday I'll be done with this. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.